सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्।
So these are the questions from the Gita chapter 3 study group. And this is question from chapter 3, slok number 12. When we work in yajna spirit, Devatas will bless us with what we desire. One who enjoys these objects without sharing with others is a thief. This is the summary given in the book. This idea about sharing the blessings with others matches what has been told in the Chinmaya Mission pledge, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. Some questions raised in this class are: A. In society, We always see more taken than given. Example, an employer will always expect more work from a consultant for the dollar paid. In this situation, are we expected to give more than we take? Should I read all, Swamiji? Number 2, give more than we take. Are we talking about quality or quantity? How do we quantify what we have given is more than what we took? Number 3, is giving more measured in terms of giving more money or giving more time rather than how we feel at our heart when we give? Number 4, what are the different ways we can perform rsi-yajna with the knowledge we gained at the mission? Please guide us how to apply producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take in our daily life when we interact with the family, at workplace, or in the society, so we can live a balanced and peaceful life.
Hari Om, this is from which class? Bhagavad Gita class. Is this a question of one person or question of so many people? Okay. So I will give some answer. In case there is some more clarification needed, you can just ask. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaf param avapsyatha ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha. So when you function in this world with this yajna bhava, then the devatas will bless you. This is what is said there. You see, what is that attitude? Yajna bhava, producing more than what we consume, giving more than what we take. What is that attitude actually? And what is actually this blessing of the Lord? You see, suppose a worker comes to your house, let us say a plumber. There is some tap that has to be fixed. A plumber comes. And this plumber does a beautiful job. Whatever the leak has to be fixed, he takes proper time, fixes it everything, without bothering about time, paying attention only to the quality. He throws away the old one, brings a new tap, fixes it, and charges very moderately. And when he leaves, what is the kind of feeling you have? What is the kind of feeling you have? Oh, this person has done such a wonderful job. Such a clean job he has done, and he has not charged heavily also. Very reasonably he has charged. So there is a kind of joy that comes in your heart. Yes or no? There is a sense of gratitude. What a wonderful person. How beautifully he has done things. Next time also, I must call this person only. This feeling of satisfaction, of gratitude, is what is called as blessing of devatas. Are you able to follow what I am saying? This feeling. This is one aspect of this blessing. But suppose another person comes, does a very shabby job, somehow did something, and charges heavily. What is the feeling you will have? Unknowingly a feeling of curse comes. Yes or no? Useless fellow. Now you have to be very, very careful while living in the society, what kind of impression you are creating in the minds of others through your action. So when we are also working in the society, remember this society means what? Samashti. It is Bhagavan himself. This world is not different from Bhagavan. So when I am performing an action in such a way that people around me are cursing me, remember the blessing of the Devata is not there. But suppose I am performing my action in such a way that everybody is happy with me, grateful towards me, love me, respect me for whatever I am doing, really value my presence amidst them, in such a way I am living, then understand that is what is called as blessings of the Devatas. If you want, please sit down. See, there are two aspects to this blessing. Number one, what is the general public? What are they talking about me? You get an idea. Number two, what is it that I am feeling when I am performing a particular job? See, there is a sense of satisfaction in us also, isn't it? When we have done a work beautifully well, paying total attention, beautifully done, there is a sense of satisfaction. There is a sense of fulfillment. At the same time, when I have done a thing very shabbily, not properly, there is a sense of guilt also. So, these Devata's blessings, they can be gauged in two ways. Number one, what is it that I feel about myself? Number two, what is it that the Samashti is feeling about my work? These two together will give an indication of this, what you call, blessings of curse of Devatas. This is one aspect. Now, another aspect, producing more than what we consume, giving more than what we talk. Wherever we go, see, there are so many places in the society where people are working selflessly, where things are available free. Another aspect of this is never take anything free from the society. Never. For example, suppose you are going to a temple, free food is available. Fine, as prasadam you take food. Let us say that food is for $5. But you are not charged, it is free. Annadanam is happening. What you have to do? Have food, silently go to the donation box, put $10 and come. Never take anything from the society free. This is the meaning, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. Wherever you go, our thinking should be this: what can I give? What can I contribute? Never should our thought be, how much can I exploit the situation? Never. If this is our attitude, then stena eva saha aghayurindriyaramaha mogham partha sajivati. Then know for sure Devatas are going to curse you. It's not that some Devata will sit and curse you. No, your own action will come back to you. I know one person in my village. He came from a very poor family. Later on he got a government job. He became a forest officer. So in the forest department his job was. And what did he do? He misused that job. In the forest department, I don't know how many of you are aware, every truck that passes with all those, carrying wood chopped from the forest, this officer, he would stand there and the driver would pay something. He would take bribe. And thus he made lot of money other than the government salary. He made lot of money. And because he had lot of money, everybody was very respectful to him in the village, because generally rich people are given lot of respect. Wife, children, villagers, he had great respect. He lived with. But later on what happened was, he was diagnosed with some disease. And the doctors were not able to find out what that disease was. Went on for different tests. He suffered a lot. Finally they came to know that it was cancer. But it was already the 4th stage. By then his body was paralyzed. He was lying down. Even for nature's calls he had to depend on others. His own wife and children started cursing him. Whatever money he had earned through all the illegal, immoral ways, everything went away. Not only that money went away, the amount of suffering. 2 years he was on bed. And he was also cursing everybody. This is what will happen. You see, there is something called Artha Shuddhi. Artha Shuddhi means what? Whatever money you are earning, through what means have you earned that money? That is very important. If the money is earned through illegitimate ways, know for sure that money is going to destroy you. So therefore, the money which we earn, it should be from a pure source. Suppose you are doing the work of $50 and earning $100. Remember, that also is an impure money, because you don't deserve it. So then how to purify this money? One way of purification is charity. Do dhanam. We don't know in what way, what all aspects of impurity is there in the wealth. So one part of the wealth, always reserve it for dhanam, for charity. One way of purification of wealth is charity. In the society there are certain laws. If you are eating more food than what you need, know for sure that food is going to become disease. All the diseases in the modern times, it is because of what? Not undereating. It is always because of overeating. It's a law. If you are taking more than what you need, that excess amount will become a disease, and then you will have to suffer for it, you will have to pay for it. Whether it is food, whether it is wealth, or whether it is anything else. So therefore, the best way of living in this life is whatever you get, wherever service you get from whatever the places, always ensure that you are contributing more wherever you go. If this way you live, then there is a hidden, unseen blessing which will always protect you. It is always there. These things cannot be proved, but it is there. So that law is what is mentioned here, the blessing of the Devatas. Never exploit the weakness of others. Never exploit the ignorance of others. Always keep that conscience clean. So this way of living is called life of Yajna Bhava. You know, Abraham Lincoln, I read one story of Abraham Lincoln. So he was a boy. At that time he was working in a tea shop. So one lady came. She wanted half a kilo of tea powder. So he measured 500 grams she wanted. Unknowingly he gave only 400 grams. By mistake. That lady, she took it and went away. Later on, while closing that account, he came to know that he gave only 400 grams, whereas she had paid for 500. It was already late, maybe 7 p.m. But Abraham Lincoln took that extra 100. He knew where this lady stayed, far away, some 6-7 kilometers away. He walked in that night with a lantern in hand, knocked the door of the lady and said, "Amma, I'm really sorry. I was supposed to give you 500 grams, but I gave only 400. This is the extra." He walked all the way in that night, and this lady's heart was touched. Her eyes were filled with tears, and, "My dear son, just for this you came all the way. Definitely, you are going to, your future is definitely going to be bright. I don't know what you are going to become, but one thing is for sure, you will always be protected. Blessing will always be." So she blessed Abraham Lincoln. What I'm trying to say is, let us live a life invoking the blessing from everyone around us. If this way we live, then that life is called Yajna Bhava. So there is quality also and there is quantity also. So did I answer this question? Clear? Yes. So D. What are the different ways we can perform Rishi Yajna with the knowledge we gain at the mission? Rishi Yajna means Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna means what? Whatever knowledge we are gaining from the scriptures, we are grateful to those institutions, those organizations, from where we are gaining this knowledge. So it is our responsibility to give something back in return. This rsi-yajna is also called as Brahma-yajna. So the best example is this mission, Chinmaya Mission. So we are gaining so much of knowledge from here. So it is our responsibility that we should give back something in return. So what all ways can we give back? So generally we say Tana, Mana, Dhana. Tana, seva activities. Physically you come and do some service. That is called as Tana. Remember, Mana should be there with Tana and Dhana also. Don't say, Swamiji, no Tana, no Dhana, only Mana. No. Mana is something which has to go with Tana and Dhana. Suppose you don't have time, you are a very busy person. You want to serve, but you don't have time. Then okay, fine. There are so many financial needs for the institutions. Because the whole institution is running because of volunteers, selfless workers. So therefore, if you have wealth, contribute the wealth. Ananda Fund is there. Monthly, a share of your whatever earning, you can just give it. So that this institution also survives. Some way you contribute. Tana, lot of opportunities are there. Puja team is there, audio video team is there, Hanuman team is there, so many teams are there. You can come and do. Kitchen team is also there. So many teams are there. Come and do your service. So that becomes Tana. So then whatever you do here, that becomes rsi-yajna. And in what way are we blessed by the cosmos? Since you are contributing, sacrificing for the activities of the rishis, so the cosmic blessing will be your mind becomes pure, you have more and more interest in the scriptures, and then at the seat of meditation you clearly see the benefit. You are able to progress in the path of spirituality. If you see in the society, majority of the people don't even have the interest in this righteous knowledge. Why there is no interest? There is no interest because mind is not pure. So who is the one who is suffering when the mind is impure? I myself. I am not able to value a treasure. Remember, God is right in my heart and I am not able to access Him. This is the greatest tragedy in my life. God is in my heart. He is very, very close to me. He is the very self in me and I am not able to experience Him. What can be a greater tragedy than this? So when we serve the society in the form of rsi-yajna, what happens is that obstacle gets cleared. There is more and more interest, there is more and more inspiration, and then I clearly see the progress in the path of spirituality, which is the greatest achievement in human existence. Did I answer this? Okay. Any other question to be answered in this whole question? I think it's clear. Okay. Question number 2.
We have heard Gurudev saying, karma can be done only in the present now, not in the past, nor in the future. Therefore, while practicing karma yoga, being in the moment is very important. When we are doing a task, all our energy and focus is on the action being done and we are not focusing on God. In the midst of action such as driving or at work, how do we practice, I am not the doer but just an instrument in the hands of God? Or should I not bring God in my mind when I am doing action like driving? How do I develop the ability to remember God and at the same time stay in the moment and focus on my action?
Yes, simultaneously how to perform action and at the same time remember God. See, in the beginning it is just not possible. Let us be practical. In the beginning it is not possible. Why? Because love for God is not sufficiently there. And the presence of God is not sufficiently experienced. So in such a situation, this is not possible for a beginner. So what should the beginner do? At least in the beginning of the day, let us pray, Bhagavan, whatever I am going to do, this is my worship. Again, at the end of the day, once again remember God. Bhagwan, what all I did, it was all because of your grace. It is not just a mechanical prayer, it is a heartfelt statement. Truly believing that, Bhagwan, in so many situations I was in trouble, you helped me. I am truly grateful to you. So at least in the beginning of the day, end of the day, you bring it. Then slowly, in between the work, when you are little free, try to invoke this feeling. And slowly a time comes when you start truly feeling the presence of God. And at that time, even when you are doing one part of the mind is ever connected to God. One part of the mind is doing the job. Another part of the mind, at the back of the mind, you feel the connection with the Lord. This you start experiencing as you spiritually progress. Exactly like, now the example given is like while driving. Driving is the example. See, suppose you have a small baby sleeping at the back, and when you are driving, how will you drive? Even when you are driving, you are careful, isn't it? No jerks, no solid brakes. Very carefully you will drive, because at the back of the mind you know the baby is sleeping. So just like that, simultaneously two things are happening. In the same way, at the back of the mind you know that God is empowering me in doing whatever I am doing. So mind has that ability to do two things. Mind has lot of abilities. The abilities that we make use of the mind is very less. In fact, as you grow in spirituality, you will really unfold so many abilities of the mind, which earlier you were never even aware of. A mind that is pure, a mind that can concentrate, has got tremendous amount of abilities. Slowly these abilities will start manifesting in you. And one such ability is the ability to remember God even while performing your duties and responsibilities. Clear?
In chapter 3, sloka number 12, it is said, Devas nourished by the sacrifice will give you the desired object. In the chapter 5, we are told when you live with karma yoga principles, whatever you need, God will provide that. But I have also heard that God gives you what we deserve, not what we desire. Please give clarification.
So there is something which I need, there is something which I desire, and there is something which I deserve. Correct? What happens is, as you are doing karma yoga, your mind becomes pure, and in a pure mind, certain needs manifest. Remember, you will desire only that which you need. That is a sign of a pure mind. A pure mind is not a greedy mind. So whatever you desire will be whatever you need. A pure mind will ask only what it needs. And when you desire what you need, remember that is what you deserve. And what you deserve, Bhagavan gives you that. So what I need equal to what I desire equal to what I deserve. And that Bhagavan provides. This is what happens as you walk the path of spirituality. So therefore there is absolutely no conflict in the statements made. Did I answer?
Swamiji, I had two questions. From first question, we are watching so many YouTube useful videos. So how are we grateful to them? How can we contribute to those online, which is not in person contact? And the second question is, can you recall the equal to formula just now you said about need, desire and deserve? Thank you.
What I need, what I desire, so in a pure mind, certain needs manifest. For example, I need food. It's a need, it is not a greedy desire. For my survival, I need food, shelter, clothing, basic needs. So there is a need. So it manifests in the mind as a desire. Need manifests as desire, and these desires are fulfilled by God because I deserve it. Need, desire, and deserving. All the three, they go together. Because there is a statement, God gives you not what you desire, but what you deserve. The whole confusion comes from that. God gives you not what you desire, but what you deserve. So in a pure mind, what you desire is what you deserve. Because you don't desire anything excess. A greedy mind will desire excess. Got it? Much more than what I need. I want this also. I want that also. Hoarding, accumulating. This is the nature of a greedy, impure mind. Whereas a pure mind, it will ask only what I need. And that Bhagavan will provide. This is the whole point. Now the second thing is, we are grateful to so many people, especially YouTube and this and that. I will never be able to, I have not even seen that place, or maybe it is far away, or that person I am not never be able to. How will I be able to contact? See, remember, these are all samashti. It's a part of samashti. Samashti means what? Totality. So wherever you are present, your action need not be universal. It can be local. Wherever you are there, serve the people around you. That is enough. You don't have to go all the way to the other part of the globe and serve that person. Not necessary. The samashti has given you whatever you are having. So wherever you are, the family, the society, wherever you are, you do service there. That is enough. Because with our limited ability, we cannot serve the whole world. Not possible. So service can be local. Understanding has to be global. You understood? Vision is global, action is local. Clear? Okay. Next one.
Hi, Hariam Swamiji. Just wanted to build on that question. You say that what you desire is what you deserve, and that's what you get. But we also are blessed to get a lot of things that are part you could consider excesses. We're blessed to be able to go on vacations and get material things. I guess, what do we do with those experiences? Those are not necessarily things that we need, or that I consider that we need, but we still are blessed with them. I think that may feed greed as well, and how do we reconcile those two?
You see, cosmos has this law. It will give you something excess only. It is not miserly. Cosmic forces are not miserly. If you give $10, it will give you $100. Cosmic forces are like that. It is very lavish in giving. You give a little, it will bless you with more. But then, never be greedy. Whatever excess you get, don't enjoy it. Again, pump it back to the society. Because there are so many underprivileged people who don't have access. Give back to them. This is how we must live. That is why it is said, giving more than what you take. Because you have more, that is why you have to give. So then the cosmos will go on blessing you. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyata. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyata. You worship the devatas with whatever you have. Devatas will in turn bless you in this way, cherishing each other. So whatever you have, you pump it back to the society. You take whatever is needed, excess, let it go back to the society. In this way, when you live, the society is blessed, you are blessed, everybody is blessed. This is called as win-win situation. Clear? Right.
Let's finish the question here first, which are given last week, and then we'll take the question from the floor. This is the question, self-unfoldment study group from Saturday. Number 4. God lives within each one of us. With this belief, is it possible to feel the existence of God, or how to experience the presence of God? And what's the purpose of visiting places of worship when God is within ourselves?
God lives within each one of us. With this belief, is it possible to feel the existence of God? See, if you want to feel the existence of God, you will have to pay a price. Nothing comes cheap in this world. And what is the price you have to pay? Just believing that God is in everyone will not do. You will have to act accordingly also. So if truly you believe that this person is a manifestation of God, how will be your attitude towards that person? There will be love, compassion, forgiveness. There will not be hatred. There will not be revenge. Yes or no? In this way, when you behave in a cultured way, divine way, then definitely that will purify the mind, and with that pure mind you can experience God. Remember, only qualification necessary to experience God is a pure mind. Nothing else is needed. And what is a pure mind? A mind filled with divine thoughts, noble thoughts. If this is there, definitely you can experience. So why is it that today we are not able to experience God? Mind is filled with all kinds of impurity. How does that impurity express itself? Anger, revenge, greed, agitation, tension, worry. That is why we are not experiencing. So, God lives within each one of us. With this belief, is it possible? Definitely it is possible, provided not only it remains as a belief, it also expresses as action. Whose question is it? I don't know. Okay. Did I answer? Okay. Okay. No, wait. One more is there. And what is the purpose of visiting places of worship when God is within ourselves? You see, every place has the ability to influence the mind. Yes or no? There is good place, there is bad place. There are places where you automatically feel like sitting for meditation. You go to such places, you feel like sitting quietly with closed eyes. You feel like going within. And there are places where you are automatically tempted to go out. A mall, a marketplace. You will never see even one person sitting and meditating in a marketplace. In Patel Brothers, somebody is sitting and meditating. So that means a place has its own ability to either encourage us or discourage us in meditation. Yes or no? And that is why different places are made. Certain situations can disturb you so much. In Mumbai, I met one person. And this person had little gone off because he had seen a bomb blast in front of him. In Mumbai, some bomb blast happened. He had seen it. Bodies everywhere. Death everywhere. Limbs here, there. And this literally made him mad. And that shock was so much that after so many years, 10, 15 years, this person is still in that mood. So whomever he meets, by then he lost the ability to speak also. In that shock, he lost that ability to speak. And then he would just tell, whoever comes. So he came to me and he was telling something. I was not able to understand what he was trying to say. Then somebody said, Swamiji, that shock of that incident has created such a big impact that he has lost his ability to speak, and now whoever comes, he'll be remembering that event and he'll be trying to. You see how that one situation has. So what I'm trying to say is, the external place has an influence upon our mind. If this is true, then there can be places where there is an automatic urge, inspiration to go within. So such an environment is created in a temple. So in the temple you will find that you go there, you feel like sitting quietly, sitting for meditation, sitting with closed eyes. Even those people who can't sit with closed eyes, at least when they hear chanting some Veda mantras, somewhere we find divinity touched in us. So that is why such places of worship are important. Because in such places there is an automatic current to go within. Just like when you are jumping into a river. So the river is flowing, say for example 2 km/h. So even when you don't do anything, you just flow, isn't it? You are not swimming, but you are going. In the same, in such places, there is an automatic urge, inspiration, you may call it spiritual vibration of the place, which helps you go within. There is a push. The external environment pushes you to go within. So, your purity of mind plus this external push takes you deep within. But one more thing I have to say, as you advance in the path of spirituality, then you don't need this external push. But as far as the beginners are concerned, this push is very essential, very useful. That is why we have these places of worship. Did I answer? Okay, right.
So this question is related to getting an understanding of the timing of the entire creation and the timing of creation of Jiva. Here is my current understanding. Creation is beginningless and ignorance is also beginningless. In every kalpa, the creation is destroyed, the Jiva goes to some kind of hibernation, and the Jiva is back to its normal being when God starts the creation again. The Jiva has always been there across all the kalpas and takes many births until get realized when the birth-death cycle stops. Going by current understanding of how things get created in the world, no items creates itself. So it is obvious that Jiva didn't create itself. Since Jiva didn't create itself, then God must have created the Jiva. In Gita chapter 9, Lord Krishna says the Jiva comes back again and again to this world helplessly due to its desire. The stanza refers to the time frame of kalpa, which can be extrapolated over many kalpas. So my questions are, 1, if God created Jiva and Jiva is in the cycle of birth and death, then God would have created the Jiva ignorant. Why would God create Jiva and make it ignorant to suffer through the cycle of birth and death? And number 2, if we say creation ignorance is beginningless and Jiva was always there, is it convenient way to the scriptures to avoid the question of when he creation and ignorance started? Calling it beginningless success necessarily means the question can be avoided, as no one can inquire about the beginning or beginningless time. If creation ignorance is beginningless, then who decides in what form the Jiva was there when the beginningless started? Who is supposed to be mineral, insect, animal, human, etc.? He has put a note. Since the Jiva is responsible for its own gross body based on its desire, then how a mineral or an animal can get the knowledge when they don't have intellect? Who put them in that spot?
Whose question is it?
Vaideshji.
Acha, okay. Give one mic to him. Because so many questions are there. Okay. See, so basically the question is, God created ignorance and God created this ignorant Jiva. So God is responsible for all our suffering. Creation means suffering only. You see, point number 4 you say, going by current understanding of how things get created in world, no item creates itself. Meaning, for any creation, there has to be self-effort. There has to be a creator of creation. And there has to be maintenance of the created thing. Agreed? No thing is created by itself. So ignorance is created. Correct? Now, let me ask you a question. There are around 7,000 plus languages in this world. How many languages do you know? How many? 2, 3? Say 5. See 7,500 or something. Let us assume you don't know 7,000 languages. Now my question to you is, how did you create the ignorance of 7,000 languages? Answer. Because your statement is, no item creates itself. Meaning somebody has to create it. Since somebody has to create it, that means you have created your ignorance of 7,000 languages. How did you create this 7,000? Ignorance of 7,000 language. Because it's a creation. Because it is there. It is existing. Ignorance is existing, therefore it must be created. How did you create?
Did God create that for me?
See, you know English, correct? How did you create the knowledge of English? You went to school, you studied it, there was effort put. Who put effort? Don't say God put, you put, isn't it? You are conscious of the effort which you put to learn English, correct? So therefore you are the creator of knowledge. So in that case, you must be the creator of ignorance also. Don't bring God here now. What answer will you give? The answer is you don't have answer. Correct? You see, this appear to be grammatically correct. Creation of ignorance. But it is not true. Grammatically it may be true. Creation of knowledge, yes. Knowledge will not come as it is. You will have to create it. You have to put forth effort. But there are certain things in this world which you cannot create. It is there. You don't have to create. It is there. One example is ignorance. You don't have to create it. It is there. And therefore you don't have to maintain it also. You don't have to maintain your ignorance of 7,000 knowledge, 7,000 languages. It is there. No effort is needed. What are the other examples which you can give? Darkness, absolutely. It is ever there. If a light has to come, there has to be a cause. There has to be a reason to create. Because it's energy. Darkness, it's always there. Can you give another example? Silence. To create noise, effort is needed. To create silence, nothing is needed. By itself, it is silent. By itself, it is dark. In the same way, by itself, there is ignorance. You don't have to create it. It is there. So God created Jiva as ignorant. Remember, Jiva is none other than God only. Ignorant God is called Jiva. So God creating Jiva means what? Jiva, God, ignorant of himself is called Jiva. Jiva, aware of his own true state, is called God. They are not two different things. God, ignorant of himself, is called Jiva. So therefore, why should God create ignorance in himself? In fact, you can't create ignorance in yourself also. Now you know English. Now suppose I ask you, okay, now become ignorant of English. Is it possible? Impossible. Even if you want, you can't. Yes or no? I will give you 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you should become ignorant of English. You can't. If knowledge is there, it is there. Full stop. So God creating Jiva means what? Becoming himself ignorant. Not possible. From knowledge, ignorance cannot come. From ignorance, yes, knowledge can come. An ignorant person can become knowledgeable. Knowledgeable person cannot become ignorant consciously. So therefore, why did God create Jiva? Wrong question. He was ignorant. Why did he create ignorance? Wrong question. Ignorance was always there. Nobody created it. It is there. This answers the first section of the question. I hope you are convinced.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next section. If creation ignorance is beginningless, then who decides in what form the Jiva was there when the beginningless started? Who decides? See, we are all connected by a cosmic mind. The mind which we have is called individual mind. But all the individual minds are connected with a cosmic mind, or called as total mind. Sometimes it is called as Hiranyagarbha, or simple, we can call it God, Ishvara. That total mind is aware of what is happening in each and every individual mind. Just like the ocean is aware of each and every wave. Because the totality is ocean. Ocean knows every wave. Or another example, I know the existence of each and every hair in me. Somebody pulls my hair, I will know. Because I am the samashti. That is a veshti. The totality knows everything about the individual. So the cosmic mind knows everything. So what is the question? Who decides in what form Jiva was there? It is this cosmic mind who will decide. Because it knows about the individual mind. In which stage of evolution it is. Accordingly, that cosmic mind gives the body. Whether it is mineral, plant, animal, whatever it is. And the next aspect of the question is, since the Jiva is responsible for its own gross body, based on its desire, then how a mineral or an animal can get the knowledge when they don't have intellect? See, it is a wrong statement to say that animal doesn't have intellect. It is not true. What is the function of intellect? To decide what is right, what is wrong. Correct? Decision making is the function of intellect. Isn't it true that animals are making decisions? This person, he hit me yesterday, I should not go near that person. This person, he loves me, I should go near the person. You see these dogs, they will not go to a stranger. But when the honor comes, they will wag the tail and jump upon that honor. Isn't there an intellect involved? To say that there is no intellect is wrong. It may not be as refined as our intellect, that accepted. But there is an intellect. The dog sniffs this and says, no, this is not edible. I should not eat this. The other one, it eats. Isn't it an intellect involved? So there are so many situations where we clearly find animals exhibiting the ability to discriminate. Any animal. Even the plants, they have this ability to discriminate. They do this experiment. In the closed room, one hole is there from which the sunlight comes. And a plant is kept. And you will find that the plant goes towards that hole to get sunlight. Isn't it an exhibition of discriminating ability? I get sunlight from here, I should go here. So in every living being you will find that element of discrimination. So to say that these beings don't have intellect is wrong. But yes, we can say that it is at a very preliminary state. In fact, the evolution is based on intellect only. Intellect means what? Our understanding about life. Whether it is plants, whether it is birds, insects, animals, human beings, how are they different? They are different in only one thing, based on their understanding. Even among human beings also. Tamasic people, Rajasic people, Sattvic people. What is the difference? Not the physical body, but their understanding in life. The whole creation is based on intellect only. So to say that they don't have intellect is not actually right. So since the Jiva is responsible for its own gross body based on its desire, then how a mineral or an animal can get the knowledge when they don't have intellect? No, they are also evolving. Every animal is evolving. See, cosmos will bless you with evolution when you just go through life. Because going through life means what? There is suffering. Just to exist on this planet, live on this planet, you have to go through a lot of suffering. Whether you are a human being or a plant or an animal or insect, you know the amount of suffering these squirrels, etc., they go through. The birds, the squirrels, the monkeys, you just look at them, you will know. All the time there is fear. You just observe a squirrel who is just eating a nut, sitting in a corner. All the time it is full of fear. Maybe some fox, maybe some coyote will come and catch it. You know that fear is a pain. So cosmos blessed that being for going through that pain. Cosmos blesses it with evolution. No pain, no gain. You pain, you gain. This is a law. If you have gone through some pain, cosmos will bless you with some evolution. And that is how these animals are evolving. Because they are going through pain. Pain of hunger, pain of thirst. In this cold climate, many of these beings must be hungry. Because there is no food, you can't go out. That suffering is blessed. But who knows how much it has suffered? There is a total mind. It knows. And accordingly, they are blessed. Who put them in that spot? The cosmic mind. The total mind. Who knows everything. Did I answer?
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
The scriptures say everything is unreal and God alone is the truth. It is said that anything that doesn't survive the past, present and future is unreal. That leaves God alone as truth. The word unreal makes it to believe that the world does not exist, but we do interact with it, even if it's Maya. Using the worldly objects as pathways like books on scriptures and Guru Sisya Parampara, the human gets realized. So the question is, what is the true meaning of the word unreal here? And how do we explain the interactions of an unreal human with gross body with the unreal world to get realized?
You see, how do we know that something is real? Just because I am interacting with the world, can it be a sufficient proof for reality? If mere interaction with the world is a proof of reality, then the dream world also should be real. Because in the dream world also interaction is there. There are people, you have eyes, ears, you interact, you think, you take decisions. In the dream also space is there, infinite space is there, infinite ocean is there, sun is there, everything is there. So if mere interaction with the world is a proof of reality, then dream world also should be real. Point number one. Point number two. If mere experiencing something is a proof of reality, then in the dream also we experience so many things. Joy, sorrows. So therefore, according to Vedanta, experience is not the proof of reality. Interaction with the sense objects is not the proof of reality. So what is the proof of reality? So the definition of reality is abadhyatvam satyatvam. That which can never be negated in any period of time, in any state of mind. That is called as real. That entity which will never come and go. If there is something, in all the three states, waking, dream, deep sleep, it must be there. Past, present, future, it must be there. If there is something which is ever present in all states, if there is something, that alone is real. The real should not come and go. Coming and going is all illusion. So then when we put everything through this test, then the only thing which remains is consciousness. Pure consciousness is there in the waking state, in the dream state, in the waking state also, in the deep sleep state also. It is there in the past, present, future. So therefore we say consciousness alone is real. Everything else is an illusion. So this is the test. That which never comes and goes. Idamaham padabhikhyamanvaham ahamilinake pyalaya sattaya. Upadeshasar. This egoistic I, idam aham, ahami leenake api. Even when I go to sleep, this aham, this ego goes away. I go when I am in deep sleep. But this presence, this consciousness, alaya sattaya vibhati, it never dissolves. The mind has gone into sleep, but the consciousness is ever there. This is the proof. So duplicate I comes and goes. The original I remains forever. Duplicate I comes and goes when? In deep sleep it is gone. In waking state it comes back. Goes, comes back. Ahamilina keyapi. But this I, original I, it is ever there. This is the proof that this Supreme Self is real. Clear? Okay. Questions are over. Now if you have any questions, you are most welcome.
Somebody had raised on this side.
Hariom Swamiji. So one thing you always say that I really like is, like, it has influenced me a lot is thoughts become words, words become actions, and so on. Now this is a very neutral statement. It can be go positive thoughts and negative thoughts. Now over here we are trying to cultivate positive thoughts and positive influence. But when we go outside, we can see there are a lot of negative thoughts, like which are becoming actions, words, eventually destiny also. If you see social media, technology, gadgets, even politics, and the laws that are created. How do we reconcile living that we are experiencing more of that negative and we still have to do our part?
How to live in this world? That's the question. See, let us take one example. Technology. Social media. Say for example, YouTube. You see, if you see that one thing, there are so many good things in that. Yes or no? It may not have millions of views, but excellent contents are there, which earlier there was no way in which you could have accessed in the past. But today it is available. Any Mahatma, anywhere in the world, you have those talks, you have those videos. So how to influence? See, the question is, in the cosmos everything is there. What are you choosing? What you choose, you get. This is the law. Negative thoughts are there, positive thoughts are there. Negative contents are there, positive contents are there. The question is, what are you choosing? You have a filter. The filter is your sense organs. Only that which you expose your sense organs to, only that will enter into your mind. As long as your mind and the sense organs have not paid attention to a thing, that thing cannot enter into you. That is the filter given by God to you. So how should I use the filter? Bhadram karne vishrunuyama, bhadram pashyema, akshabhir yajatra. O Lord, may only the auspicious thing enter into my ears, only the auspicious thing may I see. So then what are you doing? Remember the lotus. When the sun rises, it opens up. When the sun sets, it closes. If this way you live, your mind will be in Satyuga, though you are living in Kali Yuga. Your mind will be peaceful. So this is all we have to do. There are good things, there are bad things. Tasmat tvam indriyanyado niyamya bharatarshabha. Arjuna, indriyani tvam niyamya. Keep it under your control. So this is the yajna we are. See, in yajna, in Homakunda, what do you put? Fire has to be there, so you have to put fuel. And just because the fire has to be there, you don't put some slippers and chappals and rubber tires and all. You don't. You put only, sacred things. In the same way, constant yajna is going on in us. So what are you putting into your eyes? What are you putting into your ears? Ensure that they are auspicious, good. If this much you do, see, that is called as beware of your thoughts. You are thinking noble, sacred, divine. So everything has to be divine, noble, sacred. Everything good only will happen to you. Dharmo rakshati rakshitah. So this is the way we have to live. Don't try to change the world. In the world, filter only what is good, leave back what is bad. This is the way. Clear?
Hari Om Swamiji, I have a follow-up question to that lady what she said. In one aspect, we can put filters and we can stay calm, but at some point it still bothers that there is a lot of unfairness out there. Meaning to say, people who are actually committing crimes and things like that, they are still living very well. Politically, they are very well supported, they are very wealthy and everything, but we can stay calm and do all of those things, but there is an imbalance. So how to reconcile this imbalance?
If you think that corrupt people are happy, why don't you become corrupt? If you think corrupt people are happy, why don't you choose that path?
Because I will not be happy within myself.
Isn't it true?
Correct.
So when you are corrupt, you can't be happy. Why do you imagine that he is corrupt and still he is happy? Law is the same for everyone. The law is, if you entertain a negative thought in your mind will be immediately disturbed. It's a law. And law is applicable to everyone. So now you are imagining that he is entertaining negative thought, negative action, but he is happy. Isn't it true that the fault is in your imagination?
I'm still thinking.
Just not possible. I entertain a crooked, wicked, corrupt, immoral thought and staying calm, try it. It's a challenge. The whole world is functioning based on laws. And the Lord is taking care of this world. You think in this world a person who is immoral, corrupt, etc. can be happy? Yes, he may have comforts and convenience. I don't deny that. But that is not happiness. You can be miserable in your 7-star palace, palatial building. You can be miserable amidst all your servants. You can be miserable as an owner of your big company, fortune company, whatever. You can be miserable. You can be a multi-billionaire and still be miserable. Just because you have money, comforts, power, position, that doesn't make that you are happy. If you want to be happy, peaceful, content, that happiness comes from God. So to say that this fellow is corrupt and he is happy, sorry. If that is the truth, then why don't you also try to become corrupt? Your answer is absolutely right. When I become corrupt, I become miserable. True. They cannot go together. Unhealthy values of life and peace cannot go together. It's a challenge. So what has to be corrected?
My imagination.
That's all.
Hari Om Swamiji, I just wanted to follow up on that. I want to pose the same question that Sriji had presented in class. We were talking about ahimsa as a value, and there was a thing that, ahimsa doesn't mean inaction. You have to do all necessary action. The scenario posed was about law. We were just talking about law. In the US, it's okay to shoot somebody if somebody comes into your house. If you have a gun and all that. Right? Is that ahimsa? I have to protect myself, and it's legal if you have a gun and you shoot somebody. That was posed by City, and we discussed, we came to a conclusion. I'm just curious how you would respond.
Why that person has come? Because now I have to ask so many questions.
Burglar.
Burglar. Huh? Burglar. So, shooting him down, there is absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah. Yes, it is ahimsa only. Because an action is punya or papa depending upon the intention behind action. Action by itself is not good or bad. What is the intention? So here is a person who can be a threat to your family members, everything. A corrupt person. Nothing wrong in shooting him down.
Hari Om Swamiji, we learned so many things here.
But one more I have to add. When a burglar comes, different people will act differently. A tamasic person, rajasic person, sattvic person. A sattvic person will say, Bhagavan save me, and something will happen. Something will happen. He will not take this route of violence because his mind is not happy doing this. So, again, if a person shoots, we cannot say wrong, but depending upon the evolution of your mind, you will choose different solution for the same problem. Right.
Thank you. Hari Om Swamiji, we learned so many things in our classes and from you. We learned so many things from you and the scriptures in our classes. And how should we practice mananam? How should we, what are tips? How should we, is the only way to do that by meditation? Or you could be walking and doing mananam. You could be doing, how should you do it during the day, or tips, how to bring it?
With regard to action, ensure that you are performing action not based on likes and dislikes, but based on what is right and wrong. See, there are so many situations. While taking decision, ensure that you are taking decision for the welfare of all. When others praise you, give all the credit to God. Ensure that the ego is punctured all the time. So these are some of the tips which you have to practice. There are so many things. Depending upon the situation, I can go on and on for 1 hour for this. Ensure that ego is not there. Ensure that you take decisions which are good for all. Ensure that you take decision based on what is right and what is wrong, not based on. If this much you do, progress is fast. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.